What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Hello, cadets, and welcome to another episode of General Howitzer's Big Monster Briefing Room, or the Big Monster Briefing Room, as we just like to call it. But I'm still here. I'm retired General Lemuelthowitzer, and I have my able-bodied assistant here, Major Millie Hazzard.
Aye, Captain. I'm here from the gym, as you can see. I'm sorry about the lighting, but, you know, I just wanted to show everyone this beautiful, their taxes pay for this gym, so.
Aye, Captain. We're back on the pirate ship again.
Well, I like to say aye, Captain, to be funny. It's a little silly.
I'm not a captain.
I'm a big
I'm a
fan.
4-star general.
So I'm saying Milliehazzard is a Crystal fan, and I'm wearing my exercise hoodie for Crystal.
Well, that's nice that you're doing advertising for somebody who's not a sponsor on the show. Thank you.
All of our cadets know what I'm talking about. All the cadets love him. He's a wonderful.
Okay, there's a couple of hundred cadets, yes, that are very close to us who know who he is. But who knows? This thing might take off someday. Maybe in the middle of the 3rd season, maybe the 4th season, and hundreds of thousands of people will be going, "What the hell? What are they talking about?"
It's already taken off. It's a success. We got cadets. We love it.
I've got 50 followers on TikTok.
We are making a difference. It's just one cadet at a time. That's what it is.
Yes. Well, again, it's nice to see the training room, the spa behind you there, instead of a laboratory.
I would love for the general to run his own spin class. You could do a spin class, and you could, you're very fit. You're very in shape. Remember basic training, and you went to Officers Academy and everything.
I have man boobs. Okay. All right. I should probably be in there. Yes, you're right. Okay. Thanks for pointing that out. Yes, I should probably be in there.
No, I'm saying in a good way. You're very desirable. You and Chris Duell are like two hotties. It's amazing.
Oh yeah. Suck up to me now.
I'm very good at sucking up. It's wonderful.
It's wonderful. Today, we're going to speak about zombies again, and that means we've got our zombie expert in-house, I hope. He had a little bit of technical problem today. He had a power surge in his domicile, and
very legal
kind of blew some things out, and again, he was there were other things that happened, and I'm just glad he's here. So let's go ahead and bring him up, Mr. Julio Morales.
We love you, Julio. Jules is here. We love you, Jules. Thank you for joining us.
All right. What is he doing?
Oh, wait a minute.
An amorous moment. We broke into an amorous moment. I feel a little. We can come.
What the hell was he doing?
We can come back later.
Fits in with the theme, though. For our 60th episode, we've decided to do zombie strippers.
Indeed.
Now, we talked about a couple weeks ago. We talked about Gina Davis, who was in The Fly, and now she is all about getting more women characters into movies. This movie is a lot of women characters. I don't think this is one of those films that Gina Davis would be, happy about, though. Anyway.
Probably not. No.
It doesn't. Even though there's a lot of female characters in it, they don't really paint the female characters in a nice light.
No, and that's probably one of the lesser things about this film.
Well,
and it might be the actors, it might just be the script, but I'm sure we're going to see plenty of that.
Yes, man boobs. Thank you, Fred, for picking up on that. I had a feeling you were going to reel that one right in and start going on that one right away. Thank you. Cadet
Fred's
Bowman.
piping up in the comments. Hi, Fred.
Yes, indeed. And Pan is here. Cadet Pan, thank you. Welcome. And Cadet Phipps is here. Yes, we're already having Major Hazards on the show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, again, I think this was actually commentary on why you should stay out of places like this. Stripper clubs. The dangers, the toxicity, just not a good playground.
What was this one called? The hippopotamus or something?
The rhino, ironically.
The rhino, that's what it was.
Who knew that would become another term in another political satire later on? In any case, yes, the club is called the Rhino. But this was back in 2008.
The one wonderful thing about this film is that it actually reminded me of several strip clubs that my band got brought into.
Well, there you go. They did their homework.
Exactly. Except for the actresses. I mean, real strippers don't look like this.
Yeah. I'm not going to go there.
Okay, well, I went there, so
if I say too much, it might incriminate.
I'm past incrimination.
How about at the end of the movie? Okay, so look, we got to get into this timeline now because we got another show coming on right after ours. We're going to dig our hole deeper. Major Hazzard's going to pull us out. All right. So this film was actually produced by quite a few films and film companies that banded together. Stage 6, I believe, Scream HD. And again, we're giving them credit here. I have to say that the screenwriting in this was actually very good. I was actually very surprised. I was expecting this movie to be a real bad B film. And I was actually surprised at how well this thing flowed along, the script, the characters, and the situations. Zombie strippers. So in the beginning, we find out that in this alternate timeline, George Bush has been voted in for his 4th term as president with his new vice president, Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I thought was very fun. This was in 2008, folks.
Yeah.
So that was funny. They were talking about the war in the Middle East, the gas prices to soar to like, $30 a gallon or something like that. And they were looking into zombie technology to send zombie soldiers out into the war to stop the enemy. Now that wasn't so original because there was an Osama bin Laden zombie film that basically kind of did the same thing. And then we have this woman talking about the zombie technology, and we go right to the laboratory where it happens, and we see that it's a shambles. Cadet Mary is here. Cadet Chrisman, welcome.
Mary only got to see the preview. I tried to rig it so she could watch the whole movie because I knew it was ridiculous, but
no, they don't let you do that stuff. Hey, I'll buy it and share it with 50 friends. That's what I'll do.
Hey,
nice try.
But you didn't hear it from us.
So we're staying on this slide for a long time for some reason.
Awkward.
So again, this place where they're making the zombies, the doctor's watching over it, the progress. Most of these guys are in lab coats, you'll notice. These guys are covered in blood and have become zombies. And a military group comes in. They are brought in to kill the zombies, to destroy the ones that are in this facility.
Indeed.
Yes, they are. And they are a crack team, each having his own speciality. So this kind of bodes to, aliens when they bring in the military and they're all talking so badass and everything. And Yeah. One of them's into knives. And the new kid on the back of the truck.
The zombies in this film really act more like vampires.
Interesting. I like the zombies in this film. I thought they did a very good job with the zombies in this.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that it's bad. It just seems like even the way that they get infected at first, that first zombie's all ripped up. But, you know, then they just have little bites and everything. And they still have all
I have an issue with. Because there was a couple of times in this film when you know that the zombie could have just torn right into the victim and just torn them apart to eat their flesh. And like you said, they just bit them. It's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's just a little love kiss like Bela Lugosi or fake ass Bela Lugosi from Plan 9 would give you. And I mean, yeah.
I had to say that that kind of shocked me a little bit. There are some scenes where people offer themselves up to the zombies and they get bit multiple times, and you know, but surprisingly, their face is okay. You know, they didn't get their face ripped off. In any case, okay, so these guys come in. He says that if you do a micro pulse, you know, like an electromagnetic pulse, it'll take out all the zombies. And so they go in there with guns at first. And he goes, and if all else fails, just shoot him in the head like this. He blows up the zombie behind him, who's also in a doctor's coat, I might add.
And I kept thinking that zombie was played by Robert Englund. It's not, really? But it looks just like him.
Well, that might have been intentional.
Picture that guy as Freddy. And this entire movie, all I wanted was for Robert Englund to bust into that strip club and say, "Welcome to prime time, bitch."
Yeah. I liked his character in this. It was very nasty, sleazy, and he was germophobic, which I thought was very funny.
He's the high point of this film. Absolutely.
Yeah, he plays the club owner, the Rhino club owner. Ian is his name. And yes, he's an absolute delight in this.
Absolutely.
A lot of fun for him. Little love kiss from the Bela Lugosi. Nice. That's not a love kiss from Bela Lugosi. That's a Mossberg pump shotgun. So they go in, blasting away until they get to a certain point. And then they take all of their protective gear off, which I thought was kind of strange. Why would you do that? I would not order them to do that. I would say keep the protective gear on. That's just me. This fat zombie was really interesting. And he got he's got man boobs too. Big ones. And and they blew his head off too with a shotgun. They like to blow the zombies' heads off with shotguns in this.
Yeah.
This actually is the commander of the outfit, which, you know, I mean, okay. I mean, I'm in a t-shirt because I'm retired. But I didn't go out in the field looking like that. Anyway, I was wearing ripstop, god darn it. They have a cadet who sets up a perimeter, you know, with the eyes forward and backwards, so that they can get messages from her telling them where danger is about. She tells them that they are surrounded by zombies. Zombies are coming up one side of the hall. Zombies are coming up the next side of the hall. So they're surrounded by zombies. The zombies most of them are wearing lab coats. Again, this is a clue for you right here, folks, that something didn't go well. Something didn't go right. So they use those electromagnetic pulse rifles to take the zombies down, and the zombies go down, boom, just like that, which is nice. Now, wouldn't that be nice in a perfect zombie apocalypse? Electromagnetic pulse.
Yeah, I don't think that's ever worked.
Yeah, it's and again, yeah, it'll take out a toaster, you know, it'll take out a microchip. But a zombie, it only puts them on the ground for about 5 seconds, and then they start coming back for more. This is just like shooting a zombie in the torso. Don't shoot a zombie in the torso. You got to shoot it in the head. There's a nice zombie.
General Howitzer toasters now available in the merch store.
Your last line of toast. Your last line of bagel. So during this ruckus, this poor cadet, this new guy, gets bit on the hand, and he hides it from the others because he doesn't want to get his head blown off by the others, because that's what they do with people who have been bitten by zombies. They blow their head off. He even sees it happen. You know, when they shoot their way through the mess.
That used to be the only way you could kill a zombie, shooting in the head, but through different timelines and movies, the rules change sometimes. But this one is
Living Dead. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, this one's true to 1967's Night of the Living Dead, where
again it stands to reason if you destroy the brain, you destroy the creature, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So you can shoot them in the head. So here's a guy who's been bitten again on the same place, I think his hand. And he said, I've been bitten. I said, oh, okay, we'll take care of you. And then the guy steps back and they shoot him in the head. And meanwhile, the soldier that was bitten saw this. So he gets the hell out of there. He makes his way out of a side window. And then he goes a couple of streets away and he goes in on another window and he ends up in a strip club. And there is adult entertainment actress Jenna Jameson playing Kat in this. She plays Kat, and she is the star dancer of the club. And the girl on the right is her nemesis, Carmit Levitt as no, I'm sorry. I take that back. It's Janet Sousa as Branch. No, I'm wrong again. It's Shannon Moore as Jeannie. And that actress is Roxy Saint. She's playing Lilith, the goth girl dancer. And the redhead is Penny Drake, who is now Penny Vital. She's playing Socks. So all these girls are dancers, and there's the airheaded blonde one there. I don't know which actress is playing her, but
I actually congratulate you for knowing the characters' names.
I wrote them down here. I got them on a sheet here.
I've been calling them that one, and all I know is that I saw a lot of nipples.
Well, there you go. The one that doesn't care is Berenj, and she's played by Janet Sousa. That's that one there, the brunette. The woman who's kind of the madam of the house, who has a Russian accent, her character's name is Blavatsky. And she's supposed to look after the girls. And she's played by Carmit Levitt, who does a wonderful job with this character, by the way. So
yes, but
they all come to be in our
that accent's terrible. That accent is awful. I hated that accent.
She is playing a character, Russian lady, who's supposed to be kind of, I guess, like a gypsy.
I will get moose and squirrel.
All right, it was a little over the top. And then Ian comes in and he shows that he's a germaphobe. He's spraying the girls. Guys are writing checks as Lilith dances, and he announces a new kind of dance. Instead of a lap dance, you can get a face dance. And look at the reaction of Lilith when he says that. She's on stage in the middle of a dance when he says that. Here's a guy who's a germaphobe, but this is what he's willing to sell in his nasty establishment. Now, this character, I'm not sure which name this character is. There's a couple of blondes in here that I get confused. But she's a good church girl. Look at Jesus up on her mirror there. And she's here to dance for the first time. She's dancing for grandma to get her a colostomy bag, which I thought was a nice touch.
Absolutely.
So she's a good church-going girl, but she's going to dance in a house of Satan. There's the guy that spins the records, the DJ. I'm guessing that's Davis. He's played by Johnny D. Hawks. That's my guess. And yeah, you okay over there, Jules?
Well, Mary just said so. Robert Lysol's the zombies.
Well, he Lysol's the girls because he doesn't want to get any germs from girls who are not even. The zombie thing hasn't even happened yet. Now there we go. The soldier falls to the ground. He's covered in blood, and they freak out like, "Hey, what the hell's going on here?" We got to zoom through this here. Yeah. We're already at 20 minutes. So, as they're talking about what to do with his body, his eyes open, and we see that he has like black pupil eyes now. It's all black. So he's a zombie. The good church girl, her boyfriend says snuck into the club, and he's trying to talk her out of doing this. And she's like, I have to do this for my grandma. And he's like, you're making that up as an excuse. You want to do this because, you've been restricted all your life. And, So in any case, she goes up and she starts her dance. And they're hoping she's going to be another big hit for the house. And by the way, you can see the rhino behind the stage there in some of these shots. It's a neon rhino. And the guys are ogling her, as, you would expect in a situation like this. And she sees her boyfriend out there, and the lights are very bright, and we see her cry while she's on stage. It's too much for her. So she hustles off stage. The guys are like, hey, what's going on here? And it's an embarrassment. And Ian is furious. Madame Blavatsky is like, And she goes back to where the dancers are in the back in the green room. We'll call it the green room. And there's the other rhino.
I think in strip clubs they call it the champagne room.
The champagne room. I'm glad we have somebody here who's an expert. So the star dancer, Kat, goes, so you couldn't handle it, huh, Kat? Okay, I'll go out and cover for you. She goes out to do a dance, and about 2 seconds after she hits the stage, the zombie attacks her, and he rips her throat out.
And that's actually one great thing about this movie. The effects are wonderful.
They do have a very good zombie effects team on this. I have to say it's one of the best zombie effects movies I've seen.
Especially for the 2000s, even the ones that aren't practical and they're CGI, they look awesome.
Well, there is some CGI effect here too.
Yeah, right on the head and everything, but like it still looks great. And usually that's not something I would say about CGI.
So they drag him and they throw him down in the cellar. Now this is strange because later on we find out they have an actual jail cell somewhere in this club, in the back of this club, and they're throwing people in the jail cell. And I was like, well, wait a minute, why didn't you throw him down in the cellar with the other guy? So in any case, we'll get to that when we get to that. Look at how happy Jeannie is, because the woman that she's been fighting with all her life since they came to this club, they have been fighting tooth and nail each other. She just wants to beat her somehow because Kat was the star of the club and she hated that. So that's her whole motivation right there. So okay, so what am I seeing here? Oh, okay, they're talking about what's going to happen, and Kat gets up from the floor. She's not dead, or she is dead, but she's come back from the dead. So she goes into the champagne room. Thanks, Julio. And all the other girls here, and they're shocked and surprised and that she's alive because they heard she was dead. And she's covered in blood, and she's like, I'm going to go dance. I want to dance. So she goes out and she does a dance number. Now, there was a piece of information I left out earlier on. When they were talking about this zombie thing, they were saying that when women get the zombie virus, they seem to keep it together and they know what they're doing. When a guy gets the zombie virus, he's just an idiot going around looking for something to feed on.
In this movie, yeah.
That's a different take on the zombie thing. And again, she seems to know what she wants. She wants to dance, like she's never danced before, and she'll get her food that way. So she does
very much so, very much so. And I'm not a necrophile, but I like this scene.
Well, so did the guys in the actual club here. They loved it. She was using her zombie powers to dance like never before. Swinging on the pole super fast and doing cartwheels and stuff. And they were wowed by it. And the fact that she looks like she's been eaten by a zombie just made it better for them. So that's the whole fun of this movie, is the fact that all the guys they were total. I mean, they are just morally bankrupt.
Yeah.
They get their comeuppance because they end up loving this stuff. And of course, Ian is like, wow, hey, we're going to make a lot of money. So he's decided to look the other way. See, they're all on their feet. They're throwing money. They're writing checks. I had a lot of work on this one to censor it, by the way, just to let you know. There is a lot of nudity in this movie. A lot.
I have so many. I have so many Kleenex in my trash can right now.
So, a little too much information. Okay, so she takes this poor schlub back into the back to do a private session with him, and of course she goes down, and we see him smile, and then we see him go, ah! And then of course we get the reaction shot here of Ian and she's tearing the guy up from the weenie up. She starts on the weenie and then works from there. So for guys, this is just like their worst nightmare. So they come back in and she's chowing down. She's like, "You want some?" This is a comedy, by the way, folks.
Oh yeah.
This is like worse than Shaun of the Dead as a comedy. I mean, it's definitely a spoof. And again, the humor doesn't fall flat. It's pretty funny stuff, a lot of it. So this is the janitor. He has to clean up all the messes in this film, which, every time these girls take somebody in the back, he's like, "Oh man." It's a bit stereotypical, but it's a fun character, as Blavatsky is. And I know you didn't like Blavatsky.
Is he the one with the ridiculous Mexican accent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are broad stereotypes. There's no doubt.
That was a little more endearing.
Well, when we get to the scene at the end when he's ready to make peace with his maker, I mean that's pretty darn hysterical, actually. So he has to clean this mess up. The room is just an absolute mess. They send Kat back to her star chamber with her food. And they find out that this guy's head, which has been severed, is still alive, which is very shocking to Ian. So they bag it and place it somewhere where nobody's going to mess with it. And I love the shot on the right because you can see the deer's horns from the picture behind him over his head. He's got these little devil horns as he's talking to them about, "Hey, we're going to make a lot of money here." And I think that was intentional.
I think a lot of it was intentional. It's just like how good the effects are and how great the cinematography is overall. I mean, they really made a great movie here. It's a funny movie, and you can't take it seriously, but it's
right
awesome. They put their all into it.
Okay, so yeah, him and the action figures, the like G.I. Joe action figures on the shelf in his office is really hysterical to me too. I've got my own action figures behind me, but Madame Blavatsky and him make a deal. She's going to keep control of the girls, even if they're zombies, and well, she's going to keep control of Kat. They don't realize that the zombie thing is going to spread. Here comes Lilith. She's interested because she's a goth girl. She's interested in the whole zombie thing, and she wants Kat to bite her, and Kat is more than willing to bite her. Why, sure. Oh, by the way, there's a great line here. She's reading Nietzsche, And when she becomes a zombie, she goes, "Oh, this makes so much sense now," which I thought was a great line. A stripper reading Nietzsche. Okay, so they have a meeting with Madame Blavatsky, and it looks like Lilith dies. But they're like, "Oh my God, Lilith is dead!" And Lilith comes back, and goes, "No, I'm not." And they realize she's been bitten by Cat. And just like Cat, she says, "I want to dance. I'm going to go dance now." So evidently, if you're a stripper and you become a zombie, you really, really, really want to dance. All she wants to do is dance, dance. Major Hazzard, are you there? There's the bite. And she dances. I guess Major Hazzard doesn't want to comment.
No comment.
Okay. Understood. So Lilith is out there.
Leave me out of this.
Correct. I know. And again, she does the pole thing. She does the doing the somersaults and stuff, and the crowd goes wild. Again, she's a stripper sensation.
And apparently, when you're a zombie, it gives you amazing, ridiculous thongs.
Okay. Well, there was something in my mind, like, why are these guys so excited about this? Maybe zombies have like a vampire power where they kind of hypnotize you. I'm not sure. Anyway.
That's how zombies worked in the 30s, usually. They could hit.
I don't know. She picks a guy out from the crowd, just like Kat did, takes him back to the back. He's a skinhead type. Got a little beard right there in the middle of his chin, like Dooley. He's got one of those little Dooley beards right there. And basically, she rips the top of his head. She rips his jaw off. That's what happens. She rips his jaw off, and she bites his tongue and feeds off the inside of his mouth. When they come in, it's a mess again. There she is feeding. And of course, they're hiding from her when she comes out. She's covered in blood. They're hiding. And that guy, we get that zombie guy. Now that's got to be done with some CGI, but still a nice looking zombie there. And they put him in this jail cell that they have in the club. I didn't know that those kind of clubs had a room like that. I guess for rowdy people who come into the club. I don't know why. But there it is. So they put him in there. Lock him in. Julio is having way too much fun. You're right.
I can't help it. Mary's cracking me up over here.
Now, Madame Blavatsky is watching the girls, and she's watching Kat staple her neck shut. She's using a staple gun, and she's trying to staple her neck shut. The big hole in her neck. If I haven't warned you ahead of time, I mean a zillion times, we do show graphic stuff on this show. And we do a timeline from beginning to end, so there are spoilers. You're going to see everything from the film from beginning to the end. We're the Cliff Notes of horror films, monster movies. So, when we do these training films, we're going to show everything, and that includes the gore and the blood. And, so this show is not for kids. And I know I should have said that at the beginning of the show, and I know I should have, but there it is. I just said it now. So, at that night, they close up the club, and Ian is issuing the girls out, and he's spraying them with Lysol as they go out. And Socks, the redheaded dancer, stays. And the girl, the church girl, squares up with her boyfriend again. He says, "So you're not going back, right?" And she goes, "No, I am going to go back. I'm going to try again." He's like, "Oh man," but you know, there it is. She's going to do what she wants to do, and he can't stop her. And again, Socks has stayed behind. Oh, and by the way, they're being listened to by the military group that we saw at the beginning of the film. They are closing in on the zombies and where the activity is. That's the leader right there behind the newspaper. So Socks wants the girls to bite her. She wants to be a zombie stripper too. The next day, when the church girl comes in, yeah, it's business as usual with 3 zombie strippers now. And the club is going crazy. There's all kinds of new business. Guys throwing money. This is a thing. I don't get it, but this is a thing. I don't get the whole business beforehand. You know, oh yeah, let's go to a club, throw away all of our money, and leave sexually frustrated.
Not only that, but in New York State, you can't get alcohol in a strip club.
Oh, geez.
They're only juice bars, so I've had to travel out of state to get my fix.
Well, and to be honest with you, you know, you're spending like 3 times the money on drinks in one of those places. I'm guessing that's my guess.
Yeah.
I'm basing this off of one visit that I did during a bachelor party. Okay. So here's the thing. At the end of the night, you know, the dancers dance back into the back room. The bouncers come up on stage, and the head guy of the club says, "Y'all been lied to. You ain't got no dates. Go home." And that's it. And you have spent hundreds of dollars. So in any case, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But in any case, this is probably the funniest scene in the movie. They take 3 guys simultaneously back to the back room, and there's all sorts of double entendre jokes here. And Kat even looks at the screen, does a take to the audience, which I think is hysterical. She's like, "Oh, I could just eat you up," you know, lines like that. You know, it is so corny but so funny at the same time. And they throw them into those cubicles and then feed on them. Again, they got nobody but themselves to blame. Now, if you look at this as an analogy for sexually transmitted diseases, which you can very well do here, again, you get what you pay for.
I give this movie the clap.
Well, I'm thinking that's what this movie is trying to say about these places to you. Be careful. You go into these places, you're courting danger. Okay, so they have to come in and clean these bodies out and get them into the cell before they reanimate. They realize by now that it's all zombies. That what they're dealing with is zombies. And they still don't stop it. They still don't call for help. They're making money. So they take these guys down to the jail cell. It's packing up fast. Strip club with a buffet.
Sounds like a country song.
And now the girls are starting to show some zombie wear and tear. Okay, they're starting to look a little gnarly. Seriously. So again, I don't see what the attraction is here to these guys. Again, maybe they've got some kind of vampire hoodoo over these guys that was not mentioned in the film script. I'm not sure, but in any case, all right.
I think that would be something like Bela Lugosi's White Zombie, where he actually did kind of hypnotize people.
Okay.
So maybe that's just a callback.
Maybe.
I mean, to me, that's what it seemed like.
Okay, maybe I should look into White Zombie, the colorized version for season 4.
It's a very weird movie, but that's another day.
Yeah. Now we have a montage that shows, you know, all this money falling around Ian and the girls dancing and they're looking gnarly and looking more zombie-like. And oh, Bridget's here. Shut down the show.
Hi, Jet.
Brunch and munch at the Rhino. I'm loving the comments this afternoon. I'm actually able to see them, most of them, some of them.
Yeah, everybody's getting me down there.
There you go. That's why Julio's having so much fun. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. It's probably another montage shot. That's my guess. Yeah. The church girl is seeing that this is not exactly what she signed up for. This is starting to go really dark and evil, even worse than usual, you know, with this. Look at Lilith. Oh, my gosh.
It almost seemed like the tone of the movie changed for the second half to me. Like it was all laughs. It was all laughs for the first part, and then it just got kind of heavy towards the end. Yeah,
the climax, they were trying I think they were trying to show you the dangers of this kind of thing. And look at the zombies piling up in the jail cell down there. Yeah. They're about ready to take the door off its hinge. Okay. Church girl, yes. There's always a church girl in it. And this is when the girl who doesn't care about anybody or but herself goes to the boss and says, "Hey, you know, these are zombies. That you're letting this happen. What's going on?" And he's like, "Hey, you don't care about anybody. What the hell do you care?" And that really hurts her. That makes a mark. She goes back to her mirror in the champagne room and reflects. Meanwhile, the little airhead girl dancer brings what was her name? Jeannie brings Jeannie the bitch down to meet the zombie in the cellar, the military guy. She wants to be a zombie. She wants to compete with Cat. She wants to compete with Cat. So she brings her down. And there he is. He's degraded. It's been a couple of weeks. He looks gnarlier than he did before. And he does a dance. He dips her and gives her the kiss of death, basically. And again, this is one of those parts where if this zombie hadn't eaten in a couple of weeks, he probably would have torn her limb from limb. But anyway, you know, it's in the script. What can I say? So he does a dip, which I thought was actually funny. It made me laugh. He does a little dip there and gives her the kiss of death. And that's it. She's become a zombie. And then she goes to the jail cell and she goes, "I'm going to give myself to all of you." She's going to feed herself to the zombies. I'm not sure why, but there she goes. She feeds herself to the zombies. They go back upstairs real quick. They bite her all over her arms and her neck and everything. And Jeannie has shown up to have her fight her final battle with Cat. And look at how bad Cat looks. Well, now, and Jeannie looks really bad, but she's only been a zombie for a few minutes. So that's kind of crazy. That's kind of cray-cray.
Jeannie the bitch.
This fight between the two of them is absolutely cray-cray. Very naughty. We're going to see a lot of censorship here in a minute. So you saw another test earlier. It said very naughty.
It's another testament, though, to the cinematography in this film. This is a great looking movie.
Well, and again, you got to realize that the dance stage, the lights are coming from underneath, and when they do horror lighting for like monsters and stuff, that's usually how they light them, is from underneath, which is really, you know, I mean, it works. And look at the guys here throwing all the money up because they realize there's going to be a cat fight between two zombie dancers.
Yeah, you guys at strip clubs don't
thinking,
have
let's
that
get the
much
hell
money.
Out of here before we get eaten. So back downstairs, I think we're going downstairs next. Nope. We're seeing the fight between the two of them, and it's massive. It's incredible. They're going around the pole. The girl lets the zombies out. She's a zombie now. She lets the zombies out of the cell. So the zombies are heading back upstairs. The fight is getting heated. She's just scratched the hell out of Jeannie's midsection. I think she rips a guy's arm off there from the audience. And the church girl goes, "This isn't what I want." It's taken up to this point to get her to finally make up her mind that she doesn't really want to be this here with this and doing this. And that's the next line. So her boyfriend is there with her and he supports her and they're like, well, let's get out of here. You know, I mean, oh, by the way, I didn't even comment. They had a bouncer at the beginning of this movie. And the minute he sees a zombie, he's out the door, which was funny. He tips out the door immediately when he sees a zombie. Smart guy. That's what all of them should have done.
Was the bouncer played by Fred Bowman?
Birdflow is the name of the zombie who's down in the cellar. I don't know the bouncer's name, so I couldn't tell you.
It was Fred.
What was the name that you just said?
Fred.
Oh, Bowman. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't catch it. Went right past me.
He's the bouncer.
So in any case, the DJ says, "Okay, now it's getting weird. I'm getting out of here." He opens the curtain and all the zombies are there, and he lets all the zombies in. And now it's buffet time. The zombies are in there in the rhino room. You can see the rhinos behind him or her. And yes, Jenna Jameson, folks, Jenna Jameson. She pulls up ping pong balls. This is a Thailand stripper thing. Anyway, she's going to throw a ping pong ball, or actually golf balls. They're golf balls. She's going to fling golf balls at her rival, Jeannie, from her vagini. As Ruby Ray Moore would say. So again, I had to get creative with the censorship. And then she pulls up what is it? Balls from a pool table. And she's zapping those at her and she's hitting bystanders. Ouch. She's hitting bystanders with the pool table balls, the 8 balls. So they get to the manager's office, and luckily he's a member of the NRA, the National Rifle Association, it says on the card. I swear to God, it says Rifle, R-I-D-L-E, National Rifle Association. And he's got a whole cabinet full of guns, but he doesn't know how to use any of them. So they're like, "You know how to use these? Make sure the safety's off." That's all he can do. That's all he can do to help him. So anyway, they get all these guns, and when it comes time to show up the zombies, you know, to face off with the zombies, I guess they figure it out because they're able to shoot the zombies. But they keep shooting the zombies in the body, not the head. So the zombies keep coming. That's the next couple of slides. So he goes out there and boom, there's a whole mess of zombies. I mean, like a lot of zombies waiting for them when they get out of the office there.
Yeah, with this movie, it kind of seemed like with something like Dawn of the Dead or something like that, the apocalypse is happening. With this movie, it seemed like the apocalypse wasn't happening right up until the end. But then
the apocalypse is only happening in this building.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
In this strip club. So they're firing away, and they're not shooting the heads; they're shooting the bodies. And again, these zombies just keep getting up and coming. So they split up. Some of them go one way, some of them go back into the manager's office, and we're going to see that in just a second. Blavatsky goes back to the manager's office with him and the DJ. The church girl and her boyfriend go down to the basement. And here's the scene where the janitor, he's looking at a picture of his wife and kids first. Then he smokes a cigar. Then he puts bullet things on his. Then he puts the sombrero hat on, and then he says goodbye to his donkey, his burro. I mean, it just keeps getting more hilariously ridiculous as he's doing this. I'm making my peace, and I'm gonna meet my maker thing. So,
great character.
Yeah. A little stereotypical, but a fun character. This girl,
that's pretty typical. I mean, we did Poltergeist last time.
Yeah, Poltergeist was a lot worse than this. The airhead dancer and the zombies are coming into the office now. They decide to open the door again. All right, it's Blavatsky that opens the door because she hears that it's the girl, the dancer. She says, "Oh, she's a good girl." She lets her in, and of course, she attacks her right away. Tears her neck out. And we have the scene where her feet with the silly shoes stop kicking, which is kind of like when Jimmy Durante kicked the bucket when he dies in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Anyway. So she comes at the DJ, he punches in her stomach, pulls out her intestines. She still keeps coming. She bites the top of his head open. She tears the top of his cranium right off. Yep. Like a flip top. Huh. So there it is. And again, a decent effect. Well done. And a zombie finally gets to eat brains in this one. We've had this discussion before. And then she comes after Ian, and something blows her head off that we can't see. And it turns out that it's the military team that we saw at the beginning of the film. They've come into the building, and now they're exterminating zombies. But Ian runs away. And we got to hurry here. We got 5 minutes. So we got to zip through these real fast. Ian runs away from these guys, even though they save him. The fight goes on outside, and Jeannie rips the skin of the legs off of Cat. But before she can finish her off, the military guys finish her off. They shoot her. She goes down to the ground. She says, "All I want to do was beat her." And the guy goes, "You just did." And he shoots her in the head, blows her head off. Then Blavatsky comes out. She's a zombie. She starts to dance. "I want to dance. I want to dance." They blow her away completely, starting from her head down to her toes. They shoot her up with a machine gun. And she just disintegrates from head to toe. All right. So after that, Ian goes into the green room, and Socks and Lilith are waiting for him. And they give him, are you ready? A face dance. And they're zombies. So it's nasty. And he's a germaphobe. So he is going absolutely insane. And I mean, I won't even go into the specifics of how nasty and gross this scene is. But anyway, needless to say, he gets his upcomings.
I think upcomings was the last thing he wanted on his face.
Ah! You went there. Oh my God, you went there.
Hey-o!
Okay, so the girls attack the military girl who sets up the perimeter, but she dispatches them very quickly. She's very good at what she does. She knows how to fight zombies. And I think I just bit my lip open. Ouch.
Jesus Christ.
Ouch. My lips are dry. They have to explain themselves, make sure that the military team doesn't kill them. They're not zombies. They haven't been bitten. They are the only ones that get out of this alive. Because she tells them a story that makes them, want to cry. And they find Ian, and he is a mess. He says, kill me. And they net him. They're going to take him back for experimental study. And then the biggest surprise, the twist at the end, is the scientist who started this whole mess in the lab is there in the strip club. He's trying to get out. He's trying to pick the lock and get out. And they find him, the military team. And he tells them, hey, I planned this whole thing from beginning to end. I started the zombie thing in our lab by putting stuff in the people's drinks, when they weren't looking. And that's in the next slide. And he goes, America needs to be afraid. And a zombie apocalypse is what we need. And they're going to kill him. They're like, hey, you sent us in there hoping we would fail. You knew the electronic pulse was not going to stop the zombies. He goes, yeah, but you got out. You killed them. You got out. You did it right. And again, we know now what we need to make this zombie thing happen.
Yeah. I think because the rest of the film is so story heavy, I didn't really pick up on that. You're right.
Next slide, please. Okay, so then the one who doesn't care comes out, and she's pretending she's a zombie, and they shoot her and kill her. And then the original zombie, the military guy, he comes out. They kill him, shoot him, blow his head up, and then they leave. They leave the doctor. The cleanup crew comes in. They leave the doctor. The doctor looks down at a plastic bag. We know it's got a head in it that's still alive. And the last thing we hear when we see a black credit card is, ow, he's been bitten by the zombie in the bag, the scientist. So he's going to become a zombie. There it is. And that's the end of the film. So we've got another show coming up in 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you, Julio, for joining us for this episode of Big Monster Briefing Room, where we did zombie strippers. Major Hazzard, thank you so much for helping keep this thing moving straight forward.
Thank you. Yes, no icing with Drita right now.
Me, as always.
No icing with Drita right now. Keep an eye out for those big monsters.